Right. Hope everyone had a good lunch. Let's get cracking with some more product training. Obviously, all this training, this is basically an overview. So there are initiatives when you go into more depth in each solution. So just keep that in mind. Let's share the screen. Okay. So next, cloud-based solution that Grove offer in the marketplace is Microsoft Office 365. So there's a war going out there. Google Apps versus Office 365, which one's better? You know, it all depends on your business, but Grove can offer both. So here's a cool presentation on Office 365. And after that, we'll take some questions about it. Okay, so yeah, as to Google, Office 365, this is productivity collaboration tools. And it makes sense. I mean, this is Google, this is Microsoft's cloud offering. So for existing Microsoft users that are Exchange and wanting to test the cloud, they're probably the most logical choice of you going Microsoft Office 365. If they are a solid Microsoft house, they'll look at Office 365. And let's go into some of the more features. Okay. So yeah, similar messaging to Google. I mean, also work anytime, anywhere, on any device. Data security is utmost importance. So the messaging is quite similar, but there are a few differences and so forth in terms of the functionality of Office 365. So Office 365 always prided, well, Microsoft always is renowned for Office, productivity, Excel, licenses, traditional on-premise solution. So same, I mean, zero downtime, new modern solutions, we'll be using the cloud for advantage. So pretty much are the same messaging as Google. Yeah, this is basically what it entails. It's installed Office applications on up to 5 PCs or Mac, so you can also install it onto your machines as well as run it in the cloud. You get lots of capabilities for smartphones and Windows tablets and iPads. Okay, so we all know that Microsoft will Nokia run some Windows devices and so forth. So some Windows phones. You get online versions of Office, so your Word, your Excel, pretty traditional document viewing, and you get 1 terabyte of drive storage. So it's called OneDrive, and then you get 1 terabyte, and you can obviously upgrade. Yeah, so Office where you need it, So take your Office out into the field, or you want to out on the beach, you have access to your documents, email, calendars, etc. You always get the best and latest version of it. So traditionally, Microsoft works on an EA agreement, so you pay your licenses up front for 1 year, and you couldn't really upgrade unless you bought patches and additional software. With 365, it's continuously updated, so you don't have to wait for years for the next upgrade. You just get it continuously on the go. Built-in sharing and cloud storage. Obviously, we've seen a couple of demo on the Google Suite, so it's very similar. if not the same, to the Google's productivity suite. So we'll show you a demo regarding the two. Okay, so some more outline on it. You do have the option of installing the full Office desktop applications. So you install it from the web, and it's there on your computer, and that's up to 5 PCs. So you can install the Office package on your mobile device, your tablet, your PC, and 2 others if you want. So it's device optimized. So it's the full-on suite of Office. So it's not a watered-down version. So you get full functionality across devices. Yeah, so you just log into your Office Online account from any browser. So you can use, it's probably best used from Internet Explorer, as that's a Microsoft browser, but it does work across Firefox, Chrome, Safari, etc. Also, it's got offline capabilities. It was a neat feature about going with 365 is you've actually got Office installed on your machine as well as on the cloud. So if you're offline, you can work and it syncs back up automatically. There's no issues with that, and you can obviously resync and sync, as I've discussed before, a lot like Google. As I said, yeah, latest versions always updated. You build insights. It's a lot more feature rich for power users. So, in my opinion, if you are like project management, or you need to dig down really into the data, you'll probably look at 365. But if you want that mobility aspect, it's good on mobile devices. 365, I thought Google Apps got the edge on the mobility side. But you'll see the 365 packages are quite in depth, quite rich in terms of features. So yeah, Fortune 500 companies to your favorite shop. 365 is used by business all around the world. Yes, interesting stat, 1.3 billion Office users today that work on documents with organizations or inside and outside. So yeah, it's cross-platform. So you're always on the latest version, and everyone's on the same page. In the old way of working, that person might have version 1 of that file, and you currently on version 3, and there's a mix-up in which one's actually the most up-to-date format of the document. So they've eliminated all those headaches along the way. Yeah, never be out of date again. I think that's just another valid point. It automatically runs in the background. And it makes you obviously concentrate on your business. The IT side of things can take care of. Microsoft takes care of all your IT needs, and you just have to focus on the task at hand. Yeah, built-in sharing and storage. Yeah, working together in real time, so very similar to Google. Again, within the same document and see edits as they happen. So real-time collaboration. I know this wasn't a feature not too long ago. They've actually incorporated that about a year ago. Google had that from the start. So a lot of the functionality that we've got 365 cloud. And you can obviously track changes, comments, and so forth. Yeah, so you get 1 terabyte of cloud storage, and that will keep all your docs in one place with 99.9% uptime guarantee, and it's got built-in backups and so forth, so you'll never lose any information. Again, very simple. It's got built-in sharing options. You only share with people you want to share with, and you can edit. So privacy settings very important. Who's got access to the doc? You can share the doc. It's all built in on the sheet. Again, security in mind first, and as an administrator, you can see from anybody who's shared one. So it's a very important document, and say management, and you're sharing secret company files. The admin can see, or gets a little notification saying Bill Smith has shared our company information with a competitor. That guy to a lot of rubbish. So yeah, they got the visibility, the transparency to see what's going on in the domain, which is very important. And then, yeah, I mean that's $8.25 for the standard version. So it's not too different from the $6. The $5 per user per month from Google. The entry level is $8.25, and you get the Office suite, Office on your smartphone, all the online versions as well, and the 1 terabyte of drive storage. So normally, yeah, I mean, Microsoft do offer free trials. You can always sign up for a trial 365 account. I will go into my account to show you the ins and outs of that. And you can actually compare it with Gmail as well. So we can, you'll have a good feel of both of them and see the differences as well. So that's the full plan lineup. Obviously, you get quite a few different options depending on the size of your business. So Microsoft have kind of structured it according to your company size, whereas Google have kind of got 1 or 2 options. So there's a lot more variance in terms of what you want or what you don't need for your business. So you can build out a plan. So the business, you get the Microsoft Office Business Suite, then you get Business Essentials, you get Business Premium, and those are for companies that are below 300 employees. Once your business is above 300, then you have to look at an enterprise level package. So you get the Pro Plus, the E1, E3, there's quite a few others out there, but just this gives you quite a neat breakdown of what you get per service. So if I look back at Google, you have 2 options of Google, 3. You have Google Apps for Work Standard Edition, which is your standard mailbox size, 30 gigs. Then you have the unlimited version, which comes with built-in archiving and unlimited storage. So Google's got an unlimited version and a standard version. Microsoft recently also, they did have the unlimited version, but they've gone back to standard drive space now. So there's always new features coming out in Excel, Word, Outlook, PowerPoint, etc., etc. So again, you might come to work and something's changed, it looks all funky, it looks all new. That was just an upgrade that Microsoft did. and you didn't even know it happened. Yeah, I mean, there's other ad hoc applications as well, like your DocuSigns. You can use PayPal invoicing app in Excel. So there's a lot of third parties that can integrate with Office 365, and it's very cool. It just adds more functionality and what you're wanting to achieve. So you can create an Excel sheet, upload that onto your site. And integrate it with PayPal, and you've got a ready-made payment checkout point, which is very cool. Yeah, everyone gets a customized logo and your business information within your account, and you can design pretty much anything. Because, as I said, Microsoft got quite an in-depth range of apps. Anything from visual photoshopping apps to AutoCAD and a whole other range. Okay, let's go right here. So let's have it. That's pretty much it on the Microsoft side. I'll set him log into my account, so you can actually get a So this is just an overview of my account. Okay, this is actually not the mail account, but this is the Power BI account. So this is Microsoft's Insight platform. So data analytics, business intelligence platform. So we can build out a lot of cool features just by pulling out information from all aspects. So I've got a couple of spreadsheets here, I've got some other reporting metrics that's sitting there. So it kind of pulls everything together and you get a whole big picture. So I'll just run through that later, as I still need to set that up properly. But I want to get in touch. I think I'll do the demo with you guys after I've gone through all the products. Any questions so far with regards to the Office 365 platform?
You said 365 can be downloaded on up to 5 PCs and Macs, right? How is that? What's the fundamental difference with Google in that respect?
Yeah, so a good question. I mean, for 365 users, it just gives you the ability to have it's no different actually from logging into an account on your PC or your device. So in Google, I can log in through account, but it's actually stored with Microsoft 365, actually stored on the device.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Google is cloud-based web 100% presence, where you can download the actual information onto that physical machine.
Now, you were talking about obviously the project manager and the customer profile in terms of 365. Can you elaborate on that a bit more? What's the full customer profile on the Office 365 and on Google?
Customer profile, so you mean the type of people that go for
I
365?
mean, you briefly just said the one is for mobility, which is Google,
Sure.
and others more for access of information.
Yeah, so there's a couple of companies or individual preferences. So that prefer Microsoft because Microsoft 365 have got a lot of built-in features that have got for those power users. So those power users might be very reliant on applications that can deliver on what they want to achieve. Not to say that Google's functionality is bad. I think it falls short in a few areas. But it depends on the business. But if you're just in the business of selling bathroom accessories, for instance, you wouldn't necessarily need 365. You just need something that's very simple, intuitive. You're out in the field all the time, and you want to get access to mail and calendars and so forth. And you're not doing a heck of a lot of in-depth creation of content or strategies or so forth. So, but 365 would be more catered to companies that are quite dynamic, need a lot of functionality in building or creating insightful content, be it a lot of financial institutions who go to 365 route, banks, insurance companies. It's just because in the market they probably feel safer with Microsoft as they've used them before, and it would be something that they're used to. Outlook, Sheets, Excel spreadsheets, and so forth. So traditionally, those type of companies. But it's preference. I mean, Mercedes, BMW, which one do you like driving? It's kind of everyone's got their features, pros and cons. But at the end, it's up to the customer to decide if he's looking for something really cost-effective, really easy to use. Google, where he's looking for that functionality, that in-depth, feature-rich, content-driven things that they need, then Office 365 would be for them. And you find that Google Apps, it's very popular among small, medium-sized businesses. Like if you're a startup, it's very easy to get onto Google Apps and learn it because it's you're kind of used to it from a Gmail perspective. But yeah, as I said, it makes sense for a lot of guys or bigger corporates to go the 365 route because it's been tried and tested, and a lot of their businesses have been built around Microsoft. So it's kind of an easier step into the cloud. So a lot of companies are still on legacy systems. Yeah, they're still running internal servers and backup servers, and a lot of this heavy hardware. And and it's a personal choice, I guess, which way they want to go. But yeah, Grove can definitely fit in any way. Because we're not limited to either 365 or Office, so we can offer them both. So we're in a very unique position.
So how would you promote, sell, whatever word you want to use, this to someone like First Bank?
I would first understand the business. So without pumping and selling a solution just like 365, you'd have to understand how they're currently working and understand where they want to go to, and obviously find out what problems and challenges that they're facing. It could be a feature challenge, or it could be access on devices. So you'd only position a product that you feel would benefit them until when you understand their business and look into it.
Does Microsoft have the same agility in terms of incorporating the cloud as a service with big data and mobility as well?
Yes. So Microsoft aren't really in the mobile app creation space at the moment, but they are very much focused on analytics and big data. And there are obviously other areas where we can provide that mobility to companies. So like our mobility solutions can integrate with Google Apps or Microsoft Office 365. On the other side, on the analytics spectrum, yes, they have a great solution called Power BI, which will provide your business with those sort of prescriptive and descriptive analytics type scenarios. So yeah, both of them are great solutions. I mean, it's all about pushing cloud technology, and Office 365 has become the leader in terms of cloud market share over Google. But that's changing. Google's coming out with some great products of their own. So it's very interesting. It all depends on their business and if it's a fit. So yeah, learn about Microsoft 365, get you updated. There's some great content out there. I've got content on the files that I'll share with you guys. And then, you might be more of a fan. Personally, you might be more of a fan towards Google or Microsoft 365, so you might like one more than the other. Personally, for me, because Grove started on this Google journey, that I became very knowledgeable about Google. So I know Google, and when Microsoft did come out, there was a lot of similar features that I saw in Office 365 compared to Google Apps. Just want to see what else is on. So we'll be doing some Gmail. There'll be a training video inbox, and then there'll be a live run through of your Gmail account. Because as a company, we do use Google ourselves, so you'll get used to using Google. And obviously get geared up and how you communicate with it. So that's in the module. We only use Google for now, but a couple of us also have Office 365 accounts where we demo to customers. Because we've got a lot of all our documents and our processes are all Google based.
Is there a particular reason why you haven't taken on 365 like as a whole? Is it because of the size of the company, or is it?
I think we just started with Google. So if we're a premium Microsoft partner, then we would be Microsoft.
Oh, that's good.
So it's just how it's all evolved.
Okay.
Essentially, yeah. That's pretty much Office 365, and I will go into a demo with you guys when we do our demo component of both solutions. So I just wanted to give you an overview of that. And I just want to move on to the next bit and give you an understanding about the security side of email and data. And I picked a well-renowned brand called Mimecast that are in the email management space. So just to give you a breakdown, so this is an added solution to any on-premise or cloud solution to bolster your security as a company. So, as you know that there's a lot of fraud out there, a lot of hacks, phishing attacks. There's everyday threats out there on the internet, and companies need to protect themselves. Without these protection measures, you're vulnerable to attacks, and it could leave your business in ruins. It could actually bankrupt your business and collapse your business, essentially. So data privacy is of utmost importance, especially in a certain number of industries. especially your hospital, your healthcare, financial services, insurance, etc. Because nowadays customer information is being stolen, and companies have to protect your data. If they don't, they're liable for big fines and even prison. So if that information, say you had to apply for a cell phone contract to Vodacom, you're given them all your information, and they lose that information, and some syndicate gets hold of your information and opens up accounts in your names, Vodacom can be held liable. So we'll touch on what Mimecast is, what do they do, and why they are so important.
I imagine that's a big component of what you do here.
Yes.
The security component.
Yeah, so I'll just talk back a bit. Grove is obviously Pristini partners. We still have a lot of customers on Pristini, which is an email security management tool to prevent attacks such as phishing and so forth, and not letting viruses come into your business and all sorts of nasties. So basically, that was the first sort of first solution that we started selling at Grove, was Pristini.
So what did you set up internal and external security measures?
Yeah, so it'll be basically for anything coming to your company's domain. So my company domain is alan@groveice.com, our company domain is groveice.com. Anything that's going to attack the groveice.com domain, we put in measures to protect that domain from any attacks. Because you can imagine if one person opens up a virus, everyone gets that virus, and it's very difficult for them to get out, and plus those viruses can intrude into sensitive information, which you don't want happening at all. And there's other products in Mimecast that they sell, but they primarily will protect your email environment and your data environment. So because you're sending mails and receiving mails on a daily basis, that's where they guard up. They send the guards and they patrol those domains for you. Let's have a look here.
So, do we offer Mimecast or
Yes.
one of the products?
Yes. We can sell Mimecast.
And why Mimecast instead of Pristini?
Because Pristini has been phased out. So Google bought Pristini, and it's called Vault now, and that's under the Google umbrella. A lot of customers who don't want to move to Google will look for an alternative, and they would more or less be happy with going with Mimecast. Because you don't have to change your email platform. You could have been on Exchange, for instance, on an Exchange server, and you could be running Pristini. Now, they don't want to move off their Exchange to Google, and then, as I said, they look for alternatives. We can supply them with alternatives. Okay, so Mimecast's main product is Unified Email Management, so UEM. It combines comprehensive email security, continuity, and archiving solutions. So obviously security would be your antivirus, your anti-spam, and control measures. Continuity, say you are running an Exchange server, okay? You don't want to go to the cloud as yet for your email platform. You're happy to run your Exchange, but if your email, your Exchange server went down, then Mimecast, your emailing would be rerouted to Mimecast, so that you'd still be getting mail. If you didn't have a solution like Mimecast, if you didn't have a continuity solution, you wouldn't be able to get mail. It would be down, and you might lose mail, So the continuity saves a lot of companies the pain of not receiving mail. It keeps their business moving forward, keeps their business ticking over. So they're getting mail, they can send and receive, etc. So that's basically what continuity is, or disaster recovery, essentially. It also incorporates archiving. So, for instance, as an example, if I didn't have an archiving solution, so my employees are sending bad emails or sending pornography or something, and I said to the guys, well, I'm going to find out who's sending all the pornography emails in the company. The users can just go and quickly delete the messages, and there'll be no record of it. Okay. But say the company does have an archiver, that email, even if you deleted it, goes into an archiver, and the administrator can log in and pick that mail up and say, that was done by John Smith. John Smith is guilty of that. And then there'll be repercussions. So, exactly. So, in a financial context, financial institutions, healthcare institutions have to keep records for, say, like 50 years or so, because they might have to go back into legal cases and so forth. So, say someone went in for an operation and their wrong leg got cut off or something, and there's email correspondence and they deleted the mail. We sit in the archive so they can later go in for court purposes and for legal purposes like that. At least have their records there, which is great. And then you can set your purge so that the mail gets purged after 10 years, 20 years, and 30 years. At the moment, it's like 100-year retention on Mimecast. That's crazy. Like you can say like 100 years.
There's also like receiving emails too. You can also like archive that. So it's now I deleted an email from the client by accident, and I still have it on the archive. It's just one way.
You have a say with Google Apps. You do have an email archiver that's in your account. You can delete that. So if you delete that within there, it will still go to the master archiver. So it'll still go into the backend archive. And even if you delete it by accident, we can retrieve it for you. So it's an extra protection. It's like insurance. Yeah. It's like an insurance policy.
And how common is this Mimecast within companies in South Africa?
Quite common. Mimecast got a big market share already.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic product. It's worldwide. They're listed in the stock exchange. The guy started off in this garage as well. But yeah, it's a fantastic company. We're great partners with them. Some of our big customers include Netcare that use the Mimecast system. But we'll talk more about it. Let's scroll down. So yeah, just some value added aspects of unified email management. It just simplifies and reduces your email infrastructure and your administrative overhead. So it makes things a lot easier to find, and compliance purposes is a huge plus for that. And it's got 100% service availability as well. There are other email solutions we offer. We also offer Proofpoint. But I won't go too much in Proofpoint. So once you know Mimecast, you'll know the rest of them. There's quite a few others out there. The Google's one is called Google Vault.
Google Vault.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's quite a few bundles here. As I said, you'll have all this access. You can read through this later this afternoon in your own time. I think take some some time out just to read through these PDFs. There's quite a few. So this is just an overview just to tell you what it is in action.
But Mimecast and Google Vault would probably be the most expensive.
In terms of price, not too far off. As again, it all depends on your requirements. With Mimecast, they have different packages, so you can add on more to it. So you have things like big file sending as well, so you can send massive files over the internet. And there's a whole host that we can go into at some stage. Okay, so this is quite a cool doc, which explains the benefits of Mimecast. So it integrates, with MS Exchange, Outlook, Domino, short time to value and high levels of service. It's a very simple approach to email management. It's a low predictable cost. It's subscription based. You pay it per month or per year, and you know what you're paying. Traditionally people used to back up their information on these big tapes. They download their information on these tapes, and they take a truck and store it, and you store it in a storage location. That was hugely cost-bearing. There was huge cost there. Just to store these tapes and so forth, which is, back in the day, they had to do that. The Mimecast makes it a lot simple, so you never have to go and, store any tapes ever again. Because everything's stored in the cloud, your data's in the cloud, stored on Mimecast servers.
And you can search emails like Google it.
Yeah, you can search your archives, etc., etc. It's got lightning fast search for e-discovery, compliance and litigation, evidential, ready mail, strong chain of custody, zero email downtime protection during outages, supports protection against known and unknown threats. So even if there's a threat that hasn't even been identified, Mimecast has got a lot of built-in intelligence that can deal with any type of threat. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I don't think any business who uses Mimecast has ever been breached. So,
are these features active offline as well?
It's always on, so it's never offline.
So
Mimecast is a separate bolt-on tool. So I'll go back. You have your email platform, which would be either Gmail or Outlook or Macmail. Your Mimecast will sit on top of that, so it protects that email client. So it's like your bouncer, in a way. That's what it is.
So everything goes through that water tube.
Yeah. So it bounces mail, lets a mail in, says no, stop right there, son. You're not coming into my server. You're not coming into my environment. Get out. That sort of thing. So prior to telling what Mimecast is, so your biggest bounce in the world that's never been beaten.
So no one can actually just put a flash drive and just access your stuff while you're offline?
No, so there's lots of settings, lots of privacy settings and so forth. So say I went into your machine and I put in a flash drive there, and I want to download your mail. There are measures in place where you ask for a security password or something like that. Where Mimecast sits on top. Yeah, so this is a little more in depth that we've gone through. Have a read through that. It's some very, very good insightful stuff. So people who need Mimecast, companies that need Mimecast, are companies that do a lot of email volume. Not necessarily, but I think every company should have it because it provides you with that insurance. But definitely financial. Healthcare, insurance companies, dealing a lot with company or personal information, you've got to be on this. You know, a lot of, I think 90% of stuff is already on Mimecast, but there are a lot out there that haven't. So you'll have the opportunity to position Mimecast to people. Yeah, see what they're currently using. So yeah, guys, any questions on the Mimecast suites that you? I'm sure you want to go through the documentation there.
I mean,
questions.
my current understanding, obviously, of Mimecast is that it's a secondary and optional feature and product.
It is optional.
So it's not really the primary product that you would be offering to customers. So would it be more to your existing customers that you would offer this kind of product to, or would you actually particularly go out there and sell Mimecast directly as a number one product?
So you can use it both. I mean, everyone runs mail. Everybody's running a mail system. So it is optional in terms of, do you need Mimecast? Not all companies need Mimecast. If you're small enough, you're a two-man band, you don't really need Mimecast. The bigger you are, the more complex your organization is, the more likely it is to get an attack. So,
and if you're dealing with confidential information,
you got to have it. So, exactly. So you're getting a lot of inbound, a lot of export mail or outbound mail. You need to have some form of protection. Okay. Yes, Office 365 does have some protection. Yes, it's got built-in anti-spam, antivirus, and so forth. It's even got an archiver. Not as extensive as Mimecast, but it does have, and it's got built-in continuity because it's a cloud-based solution. So essentially, if you're running Microsoft 365, you don't necessarily need to run Mimecast, but you do need to run Mimecast if you're in certain industries with compliance and dealing with information. Then you have to have it. It's a no-brainer. Mimecast competitors is Message Labs from Symantec.
Message Labs.
Yeah, they've got a solution, which is quite popular. But as I said, Mimecast holds more market share than any other solution. Same as Google Apps. You don't need to run. You can run Mimecast in Google Apps. So it all depends on the customer needs. That's where the research and the getting to know the business comes in. So, as I said, your little Joe Soap plumbers will not necessarily need that. Any other questions?
But what would, let's say, Joseph Plumbers, what would an offering be for them that's most likely to be useful?
So, an offering for them, as I said, they're looking for something, just email, something simple, something that they can rely on, that's easy accessible on any device. Google Apps. Perfect for them.
Unless it's a franchise, then you would go through.
If it's a big franchise, then if they are running Microsoft, if they know Microsoft in their life and they don't really want to change away from that, we've got 300 users spread across the country, then you give them two options. I mean, all up to the customer, then you can only provide them with the facts and the figures, and in your opinion, which one they should go for, depending on the requirements. They've got a lot of things plugged in, a lot of accounting packages and so forth, then you position Microsoft and so forth. So you'll get to identify which companies you feel should go Google or go 365. Sometimes, we just press something and we want to push Google because we've got a good incentive going, and that becomes sales ability rather than knowledge. Cool. All right, let's take a 10-minute break, and then we'll be back at 3:10. All right, cool.